been a long 8 sessions, hasn't it? I'm Hans Doderer. I'm from Paintsville High School, and I teach 9th grade integrated science along with ecology. I wanted to first tell you that this idea wasn't my own. I have a son that works in the natural oil and gas industry, and we had a conversation back in the summer that led to me deciding to come up with this project. And one of the big concerns was that a lot of our high school students feel like they have to have a 4-year degree to be successful. And that's not necessarily the case. And there's a lot of certification programs and vocational programs that lead kids to very fulfilling careers and very lucrative in that regard. A lot of those people make a whole lot more than our educators do. Let's just say it that way. But anyway, the idea was captain, inspector, protector, colossal corrosion fighter, and you might be wondering what all that means. It's basically we have a corrosion problem in the United States and globally that leads to billions of dollars in the United States. Over $276 billion of money is lost due to the effects of corrosion on many different municipalities, the pipelines, and even in this building, if you look up here, this I-beam, how they've protected it from corrosion. And if you look at this water faucet over here, you can see they've maybe not protected it so well. But corrosion is an issue that affects every one of us in every aspect of life. The natural oil and gas industry, they have to do a lot of work with preventing corrosion of gas lines, for example. And there's many technologies that allow people to look deep down in the earth to tell you how thick a pipe is, for example. And so there's a lot of technology and there's a lot of job opportunities that our young people don't even know about. So part of the problem here was, for me, is to find a way to expose these young people that have interest, perhaps beyond a 4-year college degree, to interest them and show them that there's other job opportunities that require education and certification, no doubt, but that they may be interested in. The second part of this is that I'm teaching chemistry. So teaching chemistry allows me, these kits that I'm going to purchase with my monies is going to allow these kids to do hands-on projects and hands-on activities with chemistry and to learn about corrosion of different metals. For example, one of the topics in chemistry it's really hard to explain to kids is electronegativity. So these kids are going to be learning about how different types of metals corrode differently and how the electrons are affected differently, and that there's techniques and technologies that allow us to divert the flow of electrons from one metal to another. And so this will prevent the corrosion effect, hence saving money. So what I wanted to tell you is also there's a foundation called the NACE Foundation. That stands for National Association of Corrosion Engineers, that has many STEM-like kits that you can purchase. And what I plan to do is to purchase several of these kits and use during chemistry. So when I go through the basics of the chemistry unit and I get in through the modern atomic theory and the structure of the atom and the periodic table, then we're going to bring out some of these kits and allow kids to hands-on see corrosion, and see the effects of corrosion, and then apply that to the world that they live in, their communities. And companies and organizations and corporations are going to be invited into the classroom. We're going to get some of these people to come and talk about their careers and some of the problems that we face here in Eastern Kentucky with our corrosion issues. The Highway Department, the Corps of Engineers, the people that build bridges, and companies and corporations and people that work with gas lines and water plants and things like this. We have corrosion issues, and there are plenty of job opportunities for people that do what's called corrosion management. So we're going to teach these kids not only about what corrosion is and the chemistry of it all, but we're going to say, hey, here's some opportunities for you. And hopefully by having professionals come in and talk about their jobs and their careers and what steps they took to obtain their employment and the education required to get certifications, perhaps we can get some of our seniors to go to some of the summer workshops that they do offer to students to get summer training and give them an early jump on possibly a career. So that's pretty much what my project is about. I do have some comments that there's a variety of kits out there on the market. You can go, the NACE Foundation actually offers one, but if you go to Flynn or you go to Carolina Supply, just about any supply company, you can buy corrosion kits. So I'm going to explore with 2 or 3 different name brands of kits to see what works best for me and my students. Wanted to bring something to your attention. One of the things that I felt was interesting, or problem of practice, I wanted to go back and say that our students aren't aware of the many problems associated with corrosion, and nor are they aware of the opportunities. So I think by teaching kids the chemistry of corrosion and showing them in a hands-on way how it works, why these electrons move from one metal to another, or why what's causing this corrosion here. The electronegativities is a concept a lot of kids don't understand. It's just the movement of electrons. Some atoms have more desire for electrons than others. And it's like a force, like a power, this electronegativity is. And if we can teach kids the chemistry of corrosion and get them hooked, you might say, in the chemistry of it, and they feel confident that, hey, I like this. I think I can get a job doing this kind of stuff, or this seems like something I'm interested in. And if they can have individuals come in that can be I guess you can say someone who's been there, been through the track, has come out and been successful, and say, hey, I was in your position 10 years ago or whatever. Here I am today. And I've got this job, and I do this for a living, for this company. And these are real companies. We've got all kinds of gas and oil companies. And it's just not gas and oil companies. I mean, there's water companies. There's different, you think of contractors that build buildings made out of metal and stuff. They have to know a little bit about corrosion and the strength of materials and conductivity and electronegativity. All these things come together. So there's different levels of engineers, and let them see there's different aspects of soil, of the corrosion management. We have corrosion from soil, we have corrosion from water, we have corrosion from different environmental factors. So these kids can find their niche, you might say, and take an alternative route. And this 4-year college is great for a lot of people, and in no way am I downing a 4-year college. But we also, to be honest with you, a 4-year college is a lot of debt for some people, and it doesn't really lead them to any better opportunity than if they may have went to a vocational track, if they had a teacher that said, hey, there is alternative routes you can take and be successful. And I think, and still have a good, solid education and understanding of chemistry. And I think that we need to start pointing to our students other directions in which they can succeed, other opportunities that are available to them that I think they pass up on because it's an automatic, I've got to go to college for 4 years and obtain $40,000, $50,000 debt, and then I might be happy with my job, or I might get this job. And I think that maybe we need to rethink how we're pushing kids in different directions, because I don't think we should send them all in the same direction, because not all of them go that direction. And that can lead to a lot of unnecessary debt sometimes. You can get a certification and get into a job career and get experience, and then start getting more education through your experience and go to trainings and get certifications and and many times end up in a very much better situation than you might have if you just went through a 4-year college track, not knowing for sure what you wanted to do with your life. So I think it's a worthwhile thing for the kids to get involved in. Do you have any questions?